In the year 1983, the biggest musical hit was Every Breath You Take by the Police. The biggest movie was Return of the Jedi. The president was Ronald Reagan, and the average cost of a gallon of gas was 99 cents. And most importantly, if you mixed Coca-Cola with Pop Rocks, your head would explode into a bloody, pulpy mess. Now, you may be wondering why I'm bringing up the year 1983. Well, you will see in a little bit as we review Creed 3.
In a world where the number of movies available is great, but many are so bad, you'll learn a new definition of hate. One man sifts and reviews through the movie sludge. One man will be the movie cop, jury, and judge. He goes by many names, but you know him by Movies Merica.
Welcome, my friends, to the show that never ends or bends. Welcome into this latest episode of Movies Merica, a Creed 3 Movies Merica episode. So, friends, family, come on in, get comfortable, and let's get this thing started, all right? But before we get into Creed 3 here, it's story time. And that is punctuated by a weather alert in this story here. And the story I'm referring to is a continuance of a story I told on our tdpn.locals.com website. It's our Till Death Podcast Network page out on locals.com. So if you go to tdpn.locals.com and sign up there and use a promo code of TDPN, you get a free month of using our extremely exciting, intense locals page there. Yeah! And you can go as low as $3 a month there to get all our great content. But right now, one of the content pieces that I have out there, amongst all the other stuff you can get out there, is a story of bravery, of courage by yours truly, okay? About what I had to go through in order to go see, or maybe not, see Creed 3, okay? You'll have to get the beginning out there on the tdpn.locals.com. But to those who read that out there, I made a promise to them that if they tuned in to this Creed 3 episode, they'd hear the rest of the story, okay? And the rest of the story is like this, okay? So the other night, we had tornadoes and high winds go through the Dallas-Fort Worth area. You know, it's one of those situations where 1 minute it's sunny and 75, and then next thing you know, it's like really dark and it drops by like 30 degrees. And so I start hearing high winds suddenly, and things start hitting the side of, you know, my place and outside the front door and that kind of thing. And so basically when this happens in Texas, we don't have basements. So you're SOL, okay? You might as well just grab your ankles and kiss your butt goodbye. And so at the end of the story, where I left off with the story on tdpn.locals.com, is I was about to get out of my front door. I'm standing there at my front door debating whether or not I should ignore the sound of high winds and thunder and lightning and things banging up against the wall. Should I go out? I don't know. You know, it's like, should I just go and should I just park my butt on my couch and just soak in the weather report, or just plain go out and get soaked, okay? And something inside of me kind of like having a Rocky Balboa in your corner coaching you up, said to me, you know what, nut up and get outside, okay? And so I go to reach for the door handle, and I step outside. And it's the weirdest thing because right when I stepped outside, there was a trash container, and it was sliding across the parking lot, being pushed by the wind, by the high winds, of course, and all of a sudden it just suddenly stopped sliding right when I went outside, okay, as if on cue, and everything was calm, okay, no storm or anything like that. It was sprinkling a little bit, and then it was dark out because it was nighttime by that point, and so I just went ahead and I just got in my car and I started driving towards the theater, and I thought I dodged a bullet, okay, until I quickly realized that I needed to take evasive action in order to dodge a tree that had fallen in the middle of the street. So I had to swerve, like movie style, like a stunt driver. I had to swerve to miss the tree. And that, of course, had sent my phone flying off my passenger seat right into the window, just banged right into the window, and then just slammed into my dashboard. And at that point, I found myself looking in the rearview mirror just to see if some other car behind me had hit the tree, because it's dark out, and that tree is hard to see. I was lucky that I was keeping eyes front, and hands at 10 and 2, of course, and I saw it, and I swerved to miss it. And then the next thing I know, I'm sitting in the theater getting ready to watch Creed 3 for you. So now the reason that I brought up 1983, okay, and it has to do with the synopsis of Creed 3. And the reason that I mentioned 1983 is because the movie Rocky 3 came out in 1983, and Creed 3 is just too much like Rocky 3. That's a lot of mentions of the number 3. Okay, all right. So, anyway, so here's the story, okay. You have a rich, undisciplined, not very hungry main character versus a poor, very disciplined, very driven, very hungry opponent. Okay, they're going up against each other. You have a main character that dies. Okay. You have a comeback training montage, and then a big, big comeback fight at the end. All right. Now, does that sound like Rocky 3? Yes. If you have half a brain, nod your head. Yes, that sounds like Rocky 3. Okay. You will find that sounds like Creed 3 as well. Okay. And there's little differences. I mean, it's not a carbon copy of Rocky 3, but I'm pretty sure that Ryan Coogler, who wrote the story of Creed 3, Ryan Coogler is the director of the first 2 Creed movies, but he's not directing this one. Michael B. Jordan is. So Ryan Coogler, he wrote the story for Creed 3, and I'm betting dollars to donuts that he thinks, because of these little differences in Creed 3, that it's not like Rocky 3 at all, and anybody who says so is a complete idiot, okay? I don't know, I'm just putting thoughts in his head here, but if he doesn't think that it's too much like Rocky 3, well, yeah, he needs a little mental corrective action going on there, because now the little differences is that the opponent isn't Mr. T. Okay, the opponent isn't Clubber Lang. The opponent is a childhood friend of Adonis Creed in this, and then also Ryan Coogler incorporates like some teenage child criminality into it with the cops and and kids getting busted by the po-po and all that. And so that wasn't in Rocky 3, but it is in Creed 3. So the little differences like this, but the overall big picture is that, yeah, Creed 3 is just way too much like Rocky 3 for my taste, okay? So Creed 3 is, so Adonis Creed, like Rocky and Rocky 3, is rich. Okay, he's got mansions and sports cars. He's doing Ralph Lauren commercials. And he is just living high on the hog. As somebody who makes a lot of money, should be able to, right? But he's undisciplined. Now, in Creed 3, he's retired. So in Rocky 3, Rocky wasn't retired. He had just been fighting a bunch of bums, like Mickey in Rocky 3 says. He'd been fighting bums, okay? They was bums, ain't like this guy, Clubber Lang. No, he'll knock you into tomorrow, Rock. He'll knock you. That's Mickey in Rocky 3, okay? And Rocky was not retired. He was just fighting bums. And now in Creed 3, Adonis Creed is actually retired. But the same end result is that they're just undisciplined and not trained and not very hungry anymore. And then in Rocky 3, big bad, pretty the fool, Mr. T, Clubber Lang, comes in. And he's going up against Rocky 3. He wants to challenge Rocky Balboa. And then in Creed 3, Adonis Creed's childhood friend, Dame Anderson, I believe is his name, or Damien, is coming in, and he befriends Adonis again. He just wants to be his friend again, and hey, can you help me out? Can I train in your gym? And then pretty soon he's asking him for a chance at the title, even though he's been in prison for 18 years. Okay, and so that's how Dame Anderson comes into Adonis's life again. Is that he gets out of prison after 18 years and meets up with Adonis Creed again. Okay, and then Adonis is a trainer now, and he's training the world heavyweight champion to go up against whoever, or against Drago's son, Ivan Drago's son. And something happens, and then Dame Anderson is in a position to, be in the heavyweight fight, and then, that goes down, and I'm not going to say what happens, but there's just a conflict between Adonis and Damian Anderson in this. And if you watch Creed 3, I think you'll agree with me that, yeah, Rocky 3 and Creed 3, there's a lot of parallels with some little differences here and there. All right, everybody, it's about that time, okay? It's time for me to ask you to like this video and subscribe to this channel, all right? Everything is right down there, okay? And then also hit that notification bell so that you get some groovy, fantastic notifications to let you know when a new episode of Movies Merica is available, personalized for you, okay? And also, if you don't want this content, if you don't just want to watch Movies Merica episodes, okay, if you want a little bit more, if you want to get behind the scenes, I'm not just my show, but all the shows on the Till Death Podcast Network, all right? Just go to tdpn.locals.com, okay? TD as in Till Death, PN as in Podcast Network, .locals.com, locals.com. Okay, I know I have to say it again and again so I can understand it. Okay, and then when you're there, there's a field when you're signing up. You can put a promo code in there, like one of those cool promo code fields that you look at. And you're like, if you're like me, like, ooh, I wish I had a promo code to put in here. I could save some money. Well, guess what? You do. You have a promo code that you could use, and that promo code is TDPN. Till Death Podcast Network, TDPN. So put that TDPN in the promo code field, and you get a free month, all right? And you can join as low as $3 a month, okay? And for $3 a month, you're going to get articles, you're going to get videos, you're going to get behind-the-scenes stuff that, the civilians don't get, all right? You're going to be military personnel, all right? You are going to get the inside juice. You're going to see how the hot dogs are made, but in this case, it's not gross. Okay? All right? So, again, like, subscribe, notification bell, and tdpn.locals.com, all right? And then also get in the comments if you would. That'd be fantastic. I love hearing from you guys in the comments, good or bad. Give me some tips, whatever you want to tell me. That would be fantastic. All right, on with the show. Michael B. Jordan performs the role of Adonis Creed naturally and flawlessly at this point. He's a stoic, mature rock of a family man, okay, for the Creed family. And he emotes in a way that you believe a man with his experience and his character and life experience would actually emote, okay? He doesn't overdo it. There's no melodramatic or forced melodramatic monologues or wig outs or anything like that. Another part of his performance that I really love is how he is with his daughter, Amara, in this, okay? He is a doting, loving, guiding father to Amara, his daughter, in this, who happens to be hearing impaired. And it's just fantastic just to see how much fun that he and his daughter have in this movie. It's like just a great part of Adonis Creed's character in this. And it's something that you don't see in near enough movies nowadays, is just this nuclear family, and particularly the dad still being in the picture, and the dad being a real good father to his kids. And Michael B. Jordan as Adonis Creed does that in this. Now, also in addition to what Michael B. Jordan has to do with putting on a performance of Adonis Creed, is he has to direct this movie as well, okay? He's taking the reins. He's quarterbacking this thing now. And there's no Ryan Coogler directing this. Michael B. Jordan, he has got the reins to this stagecoach now, and he's got to direct and do everything that is involved with being a movie director and still put on a great performance of Adonis Creed like he did in the first two Creed movies. So congrats to Michael B. Jordan. In Creed 3, they tried some different visual flair to the fight scenes. Now, different doesn't always automatically mean better, right? One different thing, though, that did work is that they had this eye contact thing that they did during the fight scenes just to up the intensity. That I thought that worked. It kind of reminded me a little bit of the big gun duel battle at the end of The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, a little bit like that. So that worked. That different visual flair to the fights worked. They also did this slow-mo thing where when a punch would land and make an impact, they would go to slow-mo and it would show the impact on the body part that the punch landed on right there, or the damage to the body. And so that was positive. That was there to emphasize the body impacts and that kind of thing. The thing that KOs it is that they tried this fantastical, dreamlike thing at the end, in the big fight at the end, where, well, I'm not going to describe it to you here because it would be considered a spoiler if I told you so. But just let me let you know that it does come off. It's that fantastical, and it's just it's too much because it screams to me that they thought the audience was too stupid, and so they had to literalize the fact that Adonis and Damien or Dame are fighting not just physically in the ring right at that moment. They're fighting the past and each other in that past and what went down. And Dame being incarcerated and Adonis not being incarcerated and getting to live this life that Dame wanted to live, because they portray Dame as he was a better boxer than Adonis as kids. And so it goes, I guess, without saying that Dame would have the life that Adonis has right now, but he did something stupid when he was a kid and he got arrested and thrown in prison. But the parts that do work, the visual flares that are different that do work, are definitely from Michael B. Jordan's love of anime. And I was just researching it up, and I learned that he really is into anime. And then it made sense, like, okay, that's why the eyes, and then that's why the slow-mo shots with the impact and that kind of thing. But at the end, in the big fight at the end, they take it too far, and I thought it was kind of hokey myself. All right, everybody, it's brew review time. And so today's lucky brew that I will be reviewing for you is, hold on, wait for it, is the Tsingtao 1903. Yes, Tsingtao 1903 is a pale lager, okay, and it is actually, again, from Tsingtao, which is actually the most exported beer out of China, and our good friends out of China. Now, when I say good friends out of China, of course, I don't mean the Chinese Communist Party of China. I mean the good people of China, and particularly the good people that brew the Tsingtao here. So, yeah, let me hold that up for you. You're probably like, hey, Van, I can't see it. Well, it's right here. So, Tsingtao 1903, and this is their more rare brew that they have available, okay? You can find, like, just regular old Tsingtao in a number of different stores, around the world. But Tsingtao 1903 is a little bit more of a rare diamond to find, okay? But you can find it out there, so. And, yeah, it's pretty tasty, all right? It's very cool, very refreshing, for lack of a better way of putting it. I can't put it any more simpler than that, okay? Doesn't have any nasty aftertaste or anything like that, so. And as with all breweries, I'm not getting any money from Tsingtao at all, okay? I'm just drinking their brew. Speaking of which. Oh, yeah, that's good. All right, so that has been brew review time. And again, let's get back to Creed 3. Sylvester Stallone was missed in this, okay? He's just in a conflict right now with longtime producer Irwin Winkler of the Rocky Creed franchise. And he would have been a major help in the dramatic scenes in Creed 3. Just like he was in the highly dramatic scenes that came in, the first two Creed movies. And like I said, the reason he's not in this one, and he's just listed as a producer, is Irwin Winkler, a producer of all the Rocky movies. Probably familiar with seeing that name in the opening credits of all the Rocky and Creed movies. And so in order to get the very first Rocky made back in 1975, it came out in 76, Rocky, in order to finance getting that done or making that movie, he had to sell the rights to Rocky to Irwin Winkler. And so Sylvester Stallone has never owned Rocky, at least, before he obviously sold it to Irwin Winkler, he owned it, but since like 1975, Sylvester Stallone has not owned the character of Rocky Balboa at all. And so what really sparked this big dispute between him and Irwin Winkler is that Irwin Winkler was planning really to make some Drago or some Ivan Drago or his son Drago, some spin-off movies about Drago. As far as so he's got the Rocky movies, the Creed movies, and then now he's going to come out with a Drago spin-off, okay? And Sylvester Stallone rightfully believes that, okay, now you're just getting stupid, okay? Now you're really trying to pick the meat off of the bones of a great legendary character that Sylvester Stallone has created. And so Sylvester Stallone has straight up said that he is not ever going to watch Creed 3 because of Irwin Winkler being involved with it and just this fallout that he's had with Winkler at this time. But he did say in an interview that, if they do Rocky IV, then he would happily do that movie if Irwin Winkler is not involved. If it's just Sylvester Stallone and Michael B. Jordan and maybe Ryan Coogler involved, Sylvester Stallone said he'd be down for that movie. Just keep old Irwin Winkler out of it. Now let's talk a little bit about the future of the Rocky/Creed universe. I was kind of mentioning a little earlier about the Drago spinoff that it seems they are going to make, or Irwin Winkler is going to make. And then at the end of this movie, they made it pointedly clear that they are wanting to leave the possibility of doing a spinoff involving Adonis's daughter, Amara, out there as well. And so Sylvester Stallone is right. It seems like Irwin Winkler and others are really trying to squeeze blood out of the old Rocky turnip, as it were. And you know what? I guarantee you that there are some like great original boxing scripts out there that really should be made. Okay, as you know, movies studios are always trying to rehash known IP, and it's kind of our fault, or more to the point, normies' fault, for doing that, because a lot of times when a new great script is made into a movie that's not based on any recognized IP like Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, Star Trek, Harry Potter, that kind of thing, it bombs because people are too scared to get their fat butts off of their couch to go see something that they didn't read the book about or didn't watch a movie about 25 years ago. They're afraid, deathly afraid, to go out to the theaters to watch something that they just aren't familiar with. And until normies, nut up and basically find some more courage to go out to the theaters to watch movies that, if they look up, the critics love, but don't get seen a whole lot. Well, you got to go out to the theater, see new original content if you want them to make new original content. But until normies start showing some courage and going out and seeing that stuff more than they see Marvel and DC, yeah, you're just going to get a bunch of rehash crap out there. But back to my point is that instead of rehashing or spinning off Rocky Creed, they could make some new movie or movies off of some original boxing script, some spec script or something that's out there. But instead, I think they're going to do what the Star Wars, or what Disney did with Star Wars, where they're just going to make just masses and masses of mediocre content and just slapping the Star Wars sticker right on it, and they just end up making up more of that IP than they should. And now, really, the IP of Star Wars is considered lame and played out to anybody with half a brain. And the only people that doesn't think it's lame and played out are the people involved with it, and then the Star Wars shill media. Hey, right now I want you to like, okay? And I want you to subscribe, and I want you to hit that notification bell, okay? And get down in those comments, all right? So, yeah, go ahead and do that, okay, if you would. All right? No, I ain't gonna quit. I ain't heard no bell there, Mick. I ain't heard no bell. Okay, sorry. Sorry about that. And also, if you would go to tdpn.locals.com, all right? Okay, so that's where Adrian goes, because I tell her to go to locals.tdpn.com like a good girlfriend, and she goes there, okay? She goes there. She does what she does for a man, okay? And she puts in promo code TDPN for a free month of locals.com, okay? So, yeah, that'd be great. All right, I ain't done no. Cut me, Mick! Oh, yeah, all right, I ain't done this fight. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, okay.
All right. Well, hey, that's enough of that. All right, there. Let's get on with the show, Mick.
Now, flavor of the month, Jonathan Majors. He plays Diamond Damian Anderson, or Dame, an old childhood friend of Adonis's. And basically, he's the Clubber Lang of Creed 3, minus the Mohawk. And Jonathan Majors is not a bad actor by any stretch of the imagination, but he is, for some reason, being artificially propped up by the power brokers in Hollywood as the next great actor. I'm not sure why, but the reason I say that is because the reviews of what he's in tend to lend that to be the case, that they're trying to prop him up as this movie star. And so I think like in 5 years, we're all going to be like, hey, remember 5 years ago when they were trying to make Jonathan Majors like this big star, like he's going to be the next Denzel? Remember that? Yeah, like, man, kind of like 10 or 15 years ago when they were trying to make Beyonce a big movie star, and that fell through. Okay. But yeah, he's just getting like these unrightfully great reviews as Kang in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania for playing like one of the most uninteresting villains in Marvel Cinematic Universe history that I've actually ever seen. He's getting Hulk-sized great reviews for that, okay? I actually think he deserves better reviews for what he did in the movie Devotion, where he played like a Korean War pilot in that one. I liked him in that better than I liked him in Ant-Man. And I think I will say, to his credit, in Creed 3, he does do a good job of playing this sinister, devious character that tries to... He's a wolf in sheep's clothing is what he is. And he does a good job at playing somebody that's very slimy and narcissistic. And according to him, he's owed by Adonis. Adonis owes him some kind of payback or something like that, even though it was Dame, as he goes by for short, who did an incredibly stupid thing as a teenager in front of the cops that got him locked up for 18 years. It wasn't Adonis's fault, okay? It was truly Dame's fault in this. And so in those flashbacks that they show a lot in this movie of what went down with Adonis and Dame when they were kids, well, Dame was a teenager. You could tell he was a teenager, maybe even in his like early 20s, probably a little younger than that. And then Adonis looked like he was a little kid when this all went down. So Adonis did what a normal kid would typically do. Is like he just runs, he just bolts from this situation. And you see that in the flashbacks. And so in my opinion, all that to say, I just don't think that Jonathan Majors deserves just the slobbering love affair that he gets from the power brokers in Hollywood. But you know what? I will say that I am looking forward to, if this is true, if the rumors are true, to him playing Dennis Rodman in the upcoming 48 Hours in Vegas movie. Him playing the Worm, him playing Dennis Rodman, yeah, I'll be there for that. Now, Tessa Thompson is in this, and basically Tessa Thompson's in this movie. Okay, she provides a body with a mouth that says lines, but if you're looking for personality and any kind of vulnerability, look elsewhere. Okay. And Phylicia Rashad is also in this movie. Now, she'll always be Mrs. Huxtable to me, but she does provide like a strong, experienced character as Adonis's adoptive mother and then Apollo's wife there, or widow. And so she's fantastic in this. And she's always been like a complex figure in Adonis's life. You learn a lot more about that in the first Creed movie, but you can tell she's got a lot of love in her heart because she doesn't necessarily really have a a investment in Adonis that much. She really has no reason per se. She just knows that, hey, he was a little kid, he was in trouble, needed a mother, and, you know, she's got a lot of love in her heart, and she's a very compassionate character in this. And so I think Phylicia Rashad knocks it out of the park as Marianne Creed in this. And also you've got Wood. I always forget his name. Wood Harris. There you go. Wood Harris. I had to look at my cheat sheet over here. So Wood Harris, he plays Tony Little Duke Burton in this, and he's the trainer. And he's chip off the old block. His dad was Tony Burton, the trainer to, well, first Apollo and then to Rocky later on after Apollo was killed by bad old Ivan Drago, okay? And Wood Harris is actually best known for playing Avon Barksdale on the series The Wire on HBO. So that's how I'll always remember Wood Harris. It's just, yeah, he's Avon from The Wire. But so that is in a nutshell. That's Creed 3, and yeah, I'd recommend going to see it. It's formulaic, and it's nothing you haven't seen really before in any Creed movie, as much as they would like to think so. The plot points are very predictable, and they really take place precisely where you know that they're going to happen. But, yeah, the scenes with Michael B. Jordan and his daughter, him being a good dad, is good. And there's some good pump-up moments in this. But, yeah, go check it out. And, again, just want to remind you to like this video, subscribe to this channel, hit that notification bell down there, okay? And get in those comments, man. Get cozy up in those comments. And, yeah, write me something. Give me some tips. Let me know what you liked about Creed 3, what you didn't like about it. Are you looking forward to the Drago spinoff that's supposed to be coming out? And then last but not least here, as far as promoting stuff is, yeah, definitely go out to tdpn.locals.com and put in that old promo code TDPN for a whole month free. And again, you can go on there and you can join up as low as $3 a month, okay? And we have higher dollar amounts that you could use to support us, okay? Because I and Ian and Sean, who are also on the Till Death Podcast Network, they have great shows that you should check out. And we all want to entertain you, okay? We realize we all have boring days, boring weeks, boring months. And we want to make compelling, interesting things for you, okay? Things to feast your eyes on, and things interesting to listen to and hear about, and to keep you updated with the latest news and movies and that kind of thing. And that's what we're here to do, all right? That's for you, okay? For you. Not for us, for you. And so, yeah, if you want to support that, by all means, do that, okay? But, hey, again, as I always wrap up with, get out there, people. Those movies aren't going to watch themselves, all right? See ya. Hey, don't leave quite yet. I'm not done hanging out with you, okay? Hey, while you're still here, make sure to like and subscribe. Right down here, you can like the video and subscribe to the channel if you would. You'd be doing me a solid, absolutely, all right? And also, watch these videos over here. They're getting lonely. They don't want to be left by themselves. Watch them, and if you would, like them. That would be fantastic. Definitely appreciate it. And thanks for watching Movies Merica and the Till Death Podcast Network.